So, a new episode of Matt and Shane's secret podcast just came out, and Matt McCusker talked about his experience sitting down with Hunter Biden, which he recently did for Chris Williamson's podcast. You can tell Matt really liked Hunter, and I'm hopeful this is a sign Matt is moving in the right direction politically. You can tell Shane is still resistant to Hunter, and he wasn't the only one. Take a look.
That word is. But yeah, no, I had to go down and fucking, I'm learning more and more. The warehouse is in full effect.
I like that that's how Trump operates. I just saw a video of him describing the granite they laid down in the White House. And you could tell that somebody just told him what it was. Yeah, and his history facts. It's very nice. Italian
with marble. Marble, it's porous, man. You don't want marble. It sounds nice, but that's gonna be a bitch.
Have you seen what he's doing to people? His history facts?
No.
Like he had like the Japanese prime minister talking about the surprise attack on Iran. He's like, you guys know about surprise attacks, Pearl Harbor. Why don't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? His Germany's chancellor in there, he's like, D-Day, we're celebrating D-Day. That was not a good day for you. And the guy's like, no, it wasn't. Actually, yes, it was. Like, he had to, actually, it was good. I didn't mean to say it was not.
It's also funny to be committing things now and be like, oh, you guys remember fucking 90 years ago?
Should have told me about Pearl Harbor.
That's also, who's in his ear about that. That's the handiwork of Betty Netanyahu being like, oh, you guys invaded the Middle. We can't do a little Middle East invasion? Come on. You guys did it. It's like, yeah, it was like a fucking bad thing. Come on.
Yeah, it was bad.
All right, well, let us do. We'll say this was a bad thing in 25 years, and that was funny to be like, you guys here have no right to talk about Middle East invasions. It's like,
we know it.
We know it. We did it.
We know
20 long years.
Yes.
Biden's the one who ended that whole thing. He pulled out. Every game shit for pulling out and losing.
Absolute disastrous pullout game. The Biden pullout game is terrible.
You have to admit how hard Hunter rides for he's just like, bro, obviously we got shit for it, but we wanted to end the war more than anyone. You're like, God damn it, you're right. Fuck. I was under the Biden spell.
There's nothing wrong with being under the spell, but the pullout game was
crazy.
Guys hanging onto the fucking plane.
They pulled out mid-nut. They were like, it was the worst. Like, bro, just leave it in, man.
It's one of the worst pullouts of all time.
I know. The fact that Shane cannot help but disparage Joe Biden the second Matt tried to say anything positive just shows how politically aligned Shane still is. Nobody is honestly comparing anything Joe Biden ever did with the evils Donald Trump is committing, and I resent loser comedians who pretend it's a both sides problem when it's not anymore. One side is motivated by healthcare and free childcare, and the other is focused on bombing children. But that being said, I'm sure Joe Biden did end the war poorly. I mean, he inherited the mess from Donald Trump, so that makes sense to me. But at least Joe Biden still ended it. I'm Canadian, so I don't know enough about it, but my belief has always been to say no to war, so how can I not be on Team Biden? I feel bad for Matt here because you can tell he wants to have a genuine conversation about the things he discussed with Hunter Biden, but Shane and Tim Butterly are too focused on the politics of it all and making fun of the Bidens. Take a look.
A little bit of Joe comes out in Hunter,
dude.
When he's talking about smoking crack, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was smoking crack. It's like I'm open about it. Come on. I was a crackhead. Smoking crack. That's my favorite. That's the only thing I like about him now.
Smoking crack. You probably started like a fool on that crack pipe.
I don't know. What if he was everyone that's people that recover from crack, they all talk about how elite they felt while they were smoking crack.
Tell you what ticks me off listening to him when he's talking about he's like, alcohol's worse. It's like, no, it ain't, brother. Trust me, it's not, dude. He's like, alcohol is way worse than crack, just so everybody knows.
He's saying from like a physiological standpoint.
Yeah, it's a cope. It's a complete cope.
Cope for the crack.
Yeah, to be like, yeah, I did crack, but you guys drink fucking alcohol. That's crazy.
True.
Go, no, it's not.
That was like, I think Train Spotting or one of those movies did that where they had like, they would cut to all the guys getting drunk, kind of like, yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, the only reason it's bad is because it leads you to smoke crack.
True.
I bet you smoking crack with your boys feels 100 times cooler than drinking with them.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, undeniably.
Drink with your boys rocks.
There's no denying it.
Crack.
I'm not. I would never.
Boys, but now the next day the crack. Yeah. Well,
next
3 days
tough.
later.
Next day
you just smoke crack.
4-day crack hangover is gotta
whoops.
be bad for sure.
Yeah. No, that's definitely tough.
Who doesn't love a guy who mocks addiction? Slay Queen Slay. There's something about acting like doing drugs are fun and games that really get to me as a former addict. I can only speak for myself here, but I get awfully tired of everyone acting like doing drugs are party times and not just about maintenance. No one that I ever met doing fentanyl was doing it for a good time or to have fun. They were doing it because they had deeply traumatic childhood experiences that led them to need to do drugs just to relieve the horrific, unimaginable pain inside. While I agree drugs can be fun, and I have had fun on them, most people suffering with serious addiction are doing the drugs just to prevent withdrawal and to numb the pain of unresolved trauma. And for some reason, whenever anyone brings up Hunter's prior drug addiction, it doesn't seem like they're bringing it up in a positive way to help out other addicts. We should be past judging addicts in 2026 because addiction is not a choice, nor is human suffering. I think Matt wanted to discuss more important things relating to Hunter, and Tim immediately made it into a conversation about Hunter's crack addiction, which he's been in recovery from for many years. People only ever bring up his addiction to mock Hunter and to try to shame and demean him, and it's usually mean-spirited. Calling out his drug use days is a way to try and discredit the very real things Hunter is saying, and it's a way to pretend we don't have to listen to him being he was a drug user. Plus, Shane is wrong about alcohol. Alcohol is killing people every day in numbers crack has never touched and never will. People perceive crack as worse because it affects your looks worse, but internally, alcohol does way more damage, and the withdrawals of alcohol can actually kill you, whereas the withdrawals from crack cannot. Not saying one is better than the other, but it's funny when alcoholics like Shane try to judge other types of addicts to cover for their own issues. This sentiment of shaming Hunter for his addiction and trying to discredit him is nothing new, and Matt McCusker witnessed it firsthand when he sat down with Hunter and Duncan Trussell on Chris Williamson's podcast, where Duncan transparently attacked Hunter and tried to embarrass him repeatedly. Take a look.
May I ask you it's a personal question. It's something I think people are curious about.
Yeah.
Why did you take all those pictures? Like, I understand you were like smoking
Have you seen
crack.
them?
What? Yeah, you look great.
Oh,
But like, what? But why? But why?
No.
When I'm like on a bender, the last thing I want is like snapping shots.
Go look at.
of
Here's the
myself.
thing: is the truth. Go look at the pictures. Is that most of the pictures that you see, I didn't take.
Who took them?
I'm asleep. Like one of them's always that's shown all the time over and over again is me with a meth pipe in my mouth sleeping.
Who sleeps with that? I was curious about that too. I always thought when you smoke meth,
Yeah.
you
I
can't
never
fall
smoked.
asleep.
I didn't. I wasn't a meth smoker. I hate meth.
But how did the
You're just
pipe
trying
in
to be
it?
cool with the meth pipe.
Okay, I get that. I get that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is not cool to have a meth pipe in your mouth. It's much cooler to have a crack
How
pipe.
did you fall asleep?
Right.
Did they put it in your mouth? Or how do you fall asleep with them? They put it in your mouth.
I was asleep. Somebody took their meth pipe, put it next to me, and took a picture, and then put it online. And they then collected all of this stuff. Go back and look at the pictures. Now, there's some that are like me. There's some. The sex tapes are real. I took them. It was me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll
That's
tell you
confidence,
why.
man.
Why would they take these pictures?
But by the
of
way, here's the reason. So I was out of my fucking mind.
Right.
I mean, just out of my mind. You're so alone. There's nothing even remotely romantic about it. I don't talk about how I make crack to romanticize it. All that I talk about is addiction. And the whole reason to do any of this, there's 50 million people right now in America, and I think it's way more. 50 million people are dealing with their own problems and their struggles with addiction, which means that everybody at this table undoubtedly has someone that they care deeply about that has dealt with or is dealing with a life-threatening addiction. Everybody. So we all talk about it like, what the hell happened? Well, I don't know. You know what I mean? Drink a gallon of vodka and smoke, about 3 grams of crack, on any 24-hour period of time. Is that, and so.
Fortunately, you cannot shame a man who has true humility, who has done the work. And that was very evident after watching Hunter Biden get asked the most inappropriate questions one after another here. And what an absolute boss to turn the disrespectful question right on its head by talking about his own good looks. I'm sorry, but Hunter has BDE and no one can convince me otherwise. Duncan Trussell, on the other hand, has no dick energy. He's become an absolute loser shill for the right, and I no longer believe anything he says. Every word out of his mouth is motivated by propaganda, and it's become embarrassing watching him always trying to muddy the waters and paint everything in a both sides argument. That Duncan can admit the question is personal? yet still ask Hunter about photos of a pipe in his mouth on a podcast tells you everything you need to know about how vile of a man Duncan is. You don't ask someone a question like this if you're not trying to humiliate or shame someone for their prior behavior. Duncan uses the word curious specifically because that way he can act like his disrespectful question is just some innocent inquiry. Pretending it's not that big of a deal masks the maliciousness of the question, and the question is full of judgment and, in my opinion, jealousy and envy. Duncan resents that Hunter can live his life openly and truthfully, and he cannot because he's a shill, and so he wants to put Hunter down. Duncan is insecure and hateful, and he wants to feel superior at others' expense, and so he tries framing Hunter's behavior as unacceptable and abnormal so people don't let him in. He doesn't have to give what Hunter is saying the time of day if he reduces Hunter to his past behavior. But thankfully, Hunter ain't no little bitch. And he knows exactly how to handle this pathetic little question he's used to weasels like Duncan asking him all the time. And I think Hunter handled it gracefully while still being humorous and likable. It's not easy to have your embarrassing behavior be thrown in your face so publicly and without respect to how that would make you feel. But instead of pointing that out, Hunter just handles the question with dignity, perspective, and humility. He turns the discussion into one about the individual suffering with addiction every day instead of a conversation about himself and how we should all feel bad for him. I think the more conversations Matt has with people like Hunter Biden, the further apart his ideology and Shane's are going to become. Because it's hard to watch someone like Hunter and not get radicalized. Because he's someone telling the truth. He's a politician's son and he appears to be telling the truth, and we don't see that anymore. Republicans are afraid and resistant to the kind of positive and healthy messages Hunter is trying to spread to the world, and they will use all their people to try to discredit and shame Hunter so he retreats from the public eye. I think it's great for Matt to be having conversations with people like Hunter who actually reads books, knows the facts, and can communicate them clearly. He appears to genuinely just want good for the world, and it looks like he cares about people genuinely. So I can only hope that his meeting with Matt helped radicalize Matt away from the right because Shane is a lost cause. No offense. Do you think Matt's political views are going to change since meeting Hunter Biden? And do you think people only bring up Hunter's former drug addiction to try and shame and discredit him? Let me know, and thank you so much for watching.